Hey, welcome to a foreigner in the Philippines. It's a late night thing. It's now 11:30. I wanted to deal with a couple of constantly repeating messages that we get, comments. The first one is helping ladies to find a partner, and they're looking for a partner. They've enjoyed the kind of qualities that we keep expounding on our site. It's a feel-good channel, and so we delete any bad language. We delete any comments that are just plain nasty, and we get a few. We delete all of those things, and we try to make it so that anything that you read on the channel, it has to be constructive. You know, there's no point in and I do see these stories about, well, this happened to my friend, and then he was run over by a bus, and then after that somebody stole his wallet, and then after that, oh gosh, at the end of it I'm worn out thinking of how dangerous life is. So we kind of we tend to delete those. So we know that life is tough. We know that these things are, you know, that life can be hell, let's face it. But by focusing on it, you just create more hell. That's my belief, and I stand by it. So, for those who want reality, and I don't really want this to turn into refuting anything that's bad that comes on our channel, but the fact is that the more that you focus on things going wrong, the more they will go wrong. And so we tend to just get rid of them. But some of the people that write to us are in earnest about meeting someone, and they sound like very nice people. Obviously we're not a dating site. So even though for fun, a little while back, we actually did interview some lovely Filipinas that are in our life. There was Jessica and Maria Therese, and I think that's probably about it. Maybe another couple that we knew that had something to say, were articulate, and perhaps where their English was good. And so we gave them a voice, we gave them a platform to speak on things that were important to them. Maria Therese is a shy young girl. I don't think that she is terribly interested in finding someone, or she has a lot to do. She's got a full education to go into. So, they really wanted to just make a suggestion. Having said all of that, when I get these pleas for, can you help me to find a decent man who will respect me and love me, and all of those things which are qualities which I, you know, value. So can we do that? Here's what I suggest. A friend of ours who was always very supportive from the start actually revealed that he had liked the comments of another subscriber, a lady, and had messaged her a few times, and they exchanged a few messages. Cut a long story short, they actually are together now as partners. So it's possible, and I've suggested this to quite a few people, both male and female. It's possible by looking at the comments in our channel and making yourself known by making comments, not by saying I'm 37 years old and I've got one child and a Bachelor of Science, or what. That's not the way that you do it. You actually look at the video and then you make an intelligent comment about the video. So you reveal yourself through your words and actions. You reveal yourself, and then people get to know who you are. We've had people on who thought that they were comedians, and all that they would do is make sly, borderline nasty comments or borderline snide comments, and they didn't last long. But they revealed themselves as would-be criminals, would-be comedians, not criminals, but would-be comedians, and we don't need it. We don't need someone who is making fun, who is making fun of others at their expense. You want to make jokes, do what all of the best comedians do, and make jokes about yourself. Don't make fun about other people. So, how can you find someone in this way? You can watch what other people say. We have well-known characters. We have well-known, when I say characters, I mean people. I mean people who have a persona, who have something to say, and they reveal very soon whether they are married, whether they are with somebody, and they reveal themselves. And they reveal themselves by talking, by texting, by what they write and say. And you soon find out whether they're at the level of intelligence or spirituality or integrity that you seek. And then it's up to you to make contact. And I see people on our channel who actually have a fun relationship with others, and they're laughing and joking, and something forms, and something will, if the chemistry is there, and you are in a situation where you are free to have a relationship, which is not the case for everybody, you will soon learn that you can continue on, and it may well be the start of something good. I hope it is. I wish you luck. I know that it's very hard to find someone who is of the same ethical, moral level as yourself. Boy, you very quickly find out when you see how people comment on all things that are posted. And let's face it, on our site we pride ourselves on actually doing videos which are very wide in their spread across society, because that's what we're doing, isn't it? We're social media, and we're making comments, posting stories, showing real life situations in our society, our community. And that's what we do. So look around, have a look, read the comments, make some comments, make yourself known, have a look at what goes on, have a look at the kind of thing that happens, and go ahead and jump in. I think that that's probably a better way than going perhaps to a dating site, which a lot of people, when they write to me and say, can you help, they have gone to the dating sites and haven't had any luck. Now, that's not everybody's story. Some people have a great result from dating sites. So have a look and see what you think about the kind of comments that we get over a great variety of subjects. See if it helps you at all. So this was a very quick video. Let me see, was I going to do? Yeah, I guess I could go on. And talk a little bit on some of the comments that we get about helping. And we get a lot of people who are telling us that we shouldn't be helping, believe it or not. Now, I've said before that the way that I view what Beth and I do is that we are first responders. That's really, it describes what we do the best. It's not that we're trying to raise the funds to make it so that nobody has to work in our community. That's what some people have said. Well, we used to help this company, or we used to help this family, and then when we started to give regularly, the guy was able to give up his job and didn't have to work anymore because he knew that the money was coming in. We're not doing that. You know, some of the regular support that comes through from our subscribers will be in something like, I will give this amount of money for this family for a month, 2 months, 3 months, and then they go from there. Now, one of the great success stories that we've had was when we did, going back right to the beginning, we made a house, we built a house for someone we called the Paralyzed Man. That's how we started. We were invited to go with Pastor Timio to the house of the Paralyzed Man, and that's how he was introduced. Beth said to me, well, Timio is going down and he's giving Bible study or praying with this man who is paralyzed, hence the Paralyzed Man. We get criticized a lot for that too, but I've already dealt with that, okay? Our titles are as they are, and they're supposed to make you either smile or curious. What else can we do? So we went along to the house, such as it was, of this man who, sadly, we didn't realize it then. We just thought that he was paralyzed and that was it. We never thought about anything in the future, but as we sat there outside his bedroom, which was in a cellar with a dirt floor, and Pastor Timio praying with him, Beth and I looked at each other and we said, why don't we buy him a bed? And we could afford to buy a bed. I think they're about 14 or 1500 pesos. So we said, well, the least we could do would be to buy him a bed. So that's when the seed was planted. And as we sat there, excuse me, it's been a long day. As we sat there, we looked around at the house and we realized that it was hardly a house. So we said, in fact, we made a video and we showed this pathetic house with this family living there, and people funded a new house. And so, with the money that we got, we built a house. Now the next house that we built was for the 4 little girls. 3 little girls, but really 4 little girls. And now that lady is actually suffering from a very deep depression, which we're also trying to help her with. Now, we went ahead and we built a house next door to the Paralyzed Man, and that turned out very well. And that really, because it was 4 children, we felt very attached to them, and still feel very attached to them. I'm godfather to the newest arrival in that family, a little boy, and I agreed to become godfather. So, but that and the girls, because we've watched them since that early time, we've actually watched them grow, and as with most of that, it sounds impossible, but most of that 100 kids that we see every Sunday, varying between 50 and 60 and 70, and when we give out, we have a share out of some box, it can go up to over 100. And I'm not so good on remembering 100 names, but I certainly do know every face and know every kid. So what was it that made us feel good about what we did? Once we built those 2 houses, we didn't go around there for a week or 2, I think it was, and then we decided that we'd just stop by, and we did. And we were amazed to see that there was a 3rd house has been built in between the 2 houses. And the way that it turned out was that a couple, the son of the Paralyzed Man, who by this time had passed on, by the way, but the son, who was married with a baby, and he's a builder, hard worker, and has been working for Brian a lot on Brian's lot. Anyway, we saw that, I think his name is Gabriel, and he'd built a house, but he didn't have the money for the kitchen, so he couldn't do the add-on kitchen. So we were very happy about that, and we were able to fund, courtesy of our subscribers, we were able to fund the kitchen. He built the thing himself. We just got him the materials. He told us what he needed and we gave it. And so there was a situation where what others might call a handout had produced a feeling of hope. And when I was talking to Enoch today, who is a visitor staying with us at the moment from Alaska, and I said, if we are teaching anything, it's that we're teaching kindness. We're trying to show people without hope that there is hope, and that hope and that help can come from someone that has never met them and will probably never ever meet them, because most of the people that have given, some will never visit. It just won't happen, either through age or through lack of our superior resort style living that we don't have right now. We actually don't have AC and stuff like that, and some people in the West would not be able to survive with that. It is a fact that as you get older, the heat can be deadly. So we were able to help, and because of that, and because of what we've done since, those people that are involved, and children are people, and they found out that there are people in some mysterious way that they may not be able to process who want to help. And if you looked at the skeleton house, look at the video of the skeleton house. The woman there told Beth later, I had given up all hope of ever being able to finish our house. We used to pass that house on the way to Pastor Gilbert's community, and we didn't actually realize that anybody was living there. And then on one occasion we passed and we saw some kids playing there and running in and out, and it obviously was a home. So the next time that we went by there, we said, why don't we go in, and we made a video. And then it seemed like the husband was saying, I can't do it if I don't have the materials. So we put that story up. A lot of people gave money for that, which you will have seen in the accounting, which Beth always does. So we got the money to be able to buy the materials, but not just to buy the materials. We sent a team around there to do the job with the husband. So the job was done. He was very happy. It was an upgrade even on what he had thought was going to happen, because we dropped some cement materials around there, and they put a concrete floor down and built some little surrounding walls of just like two seams of block. So that was a success story. But prior to it all happening, we were dropping off the materials, and the woman, the mother, who had been away somewhere and had been sent for, that the foreigners were here and they were doing what we were doing, and she came and she saw the materials that she had lived in hope of getting but had felt quite hopeless about it, and she threw her arms around me. She was so incredibly grateful for what we were doing. And since then we've often passed, and we saw that the husband has actually extended the house a little now. He's been able bit by bit to do it, encouraged by the change that he saw. Sometimes it needs just a little nudge to get people out of the apathy of what can we do. who will help us. And then they suddenly realize that help is there, and so they actually buck up, get out of their apathy, and they do something. And they're able to do it because they've had a little kindness. So to those people who say, this is just handouts, and then of course there's that old thing that they flog to death of teach a man to fish. I think that phrase must be responsible for not lifting a hand to help in a lot of cases. Well, yeah, you should teach the man to fish so that he can feed himself for life. So let's not give him any fish. Well, we're in there and we're giving out fish, and hopefully the man will get the taste of fish in his hand to continue the metaphor, and may say, maybe I should learn to fish. But it will be because he has been shown kindness. So that's more than I thought of doing in this, but thanks for listening. This is a foreigner in the Philippines. Thanks a lot. Bye for now.